What's going on, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. So in today's video, guys, we are going to be talking about England's last game that we went and played Iceland in the UEFA Nations League. Yes, guys, we are back for the Nations League once again. New series, guys, onto the channel. I wanted to expand a little bit more on the England content side, and obviously with the Euros not being on this summer, so I thought, you know what, I needed some England content, and we're bringing the England content back with obviously the 2020 to the 2021 UEFA Nations League, guys. England's in it. We've got Belgium, Denmark and Iceland in our group, if you didn't know, but there you go. Anyway, guys, talking about the starting 11, so we started with Pickford, Walker, Gomez, Dyer, Trippier, Rice, Sancho, Ward-Prowse, Foden, Sterling and Kane. Getting into the overall reaction now. England scrape win in Iceland after late penalty drama. Bloody hell, we only just done it. Crazy last few minutes of the game. We struggled for creativity. We made it tough for ourselves. The performance wasn't great. I would say that any day of the week. Win done, 3 points done, clean sheet done. Anyway, guys, let's just get straight into today's video. Obviously, this was our first game in 10 months. The last game England played was in the Euro qualifiers against Kosovo, and we won 4-0. Coming into this game now against Iceland, England only just scraped the win thanks to Sterling scoring a late penalty. Overall, what did I make of the performance? The performance wasn't great overall. I think it was just one of those games where, wasn't a fantastic performance, was it? I mean, it was one of those performances where, not much in it, obviously, not much creativity, like I said then. We made it hard for ourselves because we really struggled to break down Iceland for the full 90 minutes. And if you were watching that game last night, you would have been thinking, oh yeah, we could have got a draw. And I think a draw to start the Nations League is not how you want to start it. I think in any competition or anything like UEFA Nations League or anything like with the Euros or the World Cup, you would like to start it with a win, and we got the victory, but it was not the way how we wanted to play the game. I think let's just say the first 10 minutes of that game was brilliant. It was good. It was a good start to the game. Quick and bright start to the game. Opening 10 minutes, I thought we were brilliant. I thought we were brilliant inside the first 10 minutes, but we just made it tough for ourselves as the game went on, and we just really struggled to break down Iceland. We're thinking, oh God, what we huffed and puffed in times, and we're just scratching our heads, and we're getting annoyed and frustrated with ourselves that we couldn't really break down this Iceland team. But what it was is, because Iceland was so organised at the back and they got men behind the ball, we just couldn't break them down. And it wasn't the fact that their defence was good. We were just not. I think England were not quick enough in terms of the urgency wasn't there. We were not playing aggressive. There was not a lot of energy. Some of the players did turn up. Some of them were a bit tired. You could have all these preparations for the game, but still the players don't turn up for a game like against Iceland. Obviously, we wanted to get a bit of payback. Obviously, what had happened 4 years ago, obviously, and it's just one of these games where we just did enough to win the game, and obviously we need to sort of improve on that now and go away and improve now. Even though we've got the win, which is important. Obviously, we've got the 3 points and we've got a clean sheet as well. But it was just one of those games where we sort of lacked in creativity. The urgency wasn't there in our play. You couldn't really see the tempo and the intensity in our play. I think looked very, we weren't sharp, were we? We weren't quick on the ball. The movement was slow in times. So, there's plenty to take from that game that we have to go away now and work on. So there's a lot that we need to develop now in the next, not only just over the next couple of days, because obviously we've got another game against Denmark, but I think it's just a a learning process. And I think these players now have got to go away and think, yeah, wasn't a great game. We've got to move on now. Wasn't a great game, but we'll still take it. 1-0. Hallelujah. We get the win. That's that's all that we're bothered about at the end of the day. So, yeah, I mean, you can take an exception, say, first game in 10 months. Obviously, these players have not played together in a long time. Obviously, some players have not had pre-season with their clubs, obviously with the Premier League returning in the next week or two. So some players have been on pre-season, some of them haven't. Obviously the likes of Dean Henderson and Mason Greenwood haven't been on pre-season. And Manchester United, most of those players have been on pre-season, and some players have not got the pre-season with the club, obviously. So it's a bit of a struggle as well when, obviously, like with players like Mason Greenwood, the last game Greenwood played was pretty much the Europa League semi-final against Sevilla. So that was the last time Greenwood played, and coming into this game. But it just goes to show that it could be the fitness. I mean, as the game come on, I think we started to look a bit lethargic. We capitulated a little bit. We huffed and puffed, but it wasn't good enough. But it's good enough to get the win, isn't it? At the end of the day, first half, I'm going to say, first 10 minutes, I thought we were good. I think Kane should have put England 1-0 up, but obviously it was offside. I don't think it was offside. He was clearly onside. And message to the UEFA: you need to get VAR involved in the Nations League, because I think that was embarrassing. Because I mean, they may not like the lines. I know it might take forever, but at least you get football a little bit more consistent, and you can get the calls a little bit more right as well. If it's a handball, if it's a penalty. So VAR is there to help you out. It's called video assistant referee at the end of the day. It's helping the referee out. And but yeah, I think the first 10 minutes we did really well. I thought we played with energy, we were bright, we were quick. The intensity and the tempo was there. Then the question was can we maintain that now for the rest of the 90 minutes? No, we dropped off. We just couldn't keep that up really, and we struggled in the final third. We just couldn't find the last pass. We couldn't break down Iceland, and obviously Gareth Southgate, he changed the formation. Why change the formation? Why go to a 4-1-4-1? What's the point of that? You might as well just go back to the 4-2-3-1, go back to the normal system that the players are used to. Get Sancho out wide, get Sterling out wide, and then you've got Kane in front as your striker. Kane, who's not fit as well. So it goes to show that some of these players are not there fitness-wise, and there's still lots to improve on as well. So at the end of the day, I think the first half, okay, we should have been 1-0 up inside the first 6 minutes, but you can't do nothing about that at the end of the day. That's why VAR needs to be involved. Don't know why it's not involved as well when you've got the UEFA with Europa League, and you've obviously got the VAR obviously in the UEFA as well. It's in the Champions League and it's in the Europa League. So why do you not have it in the Nations League? That's the big question. That's what I want to know really. But first 10 minutes we were good. As the game progressed, we dropped back a bit. The urgency wasn't there in our play. We dropped off a little bit. Not a lot of creativity in the team. The urgency fell apart. There was no intensity, just no tempo in our play. Struggled to break down Iceland because they got back into position and they were organised, and England were just too slow in the transition. So there's a lot to improve on. Second half, it was the same really. You would think, right, let's play a quick, incisive football. I don't know what was said at half time. I just, you would want to see an improvement, but there was no improvement in the second half, unfortunately. Again, just struggled for creativity. There was just no tempo in our play, no intensity in our play. We just weren't aggressive. You know, we're not quick. We're not bright on the ball. So there was some good spells and some really bad spells in the game. We dropped off in the game as well. We capitulated. We looked lethargic. We huffed and puffed. But I think it was getting a bit frustrating for the players that we couldn't really find a breakthrough goal to settle down and, you know, just. But I think the good thing is about the game that we controlled the game. We dominated the game. But I mean, you can be controlling and dominating the game, but you're not scoring goals. So that goes to show that you need to be more ruthless against Iceland, and we weren't. That's why we were too slow in terms of the transition and in terms of, you know, intensity and tempo wise. So, and we weren't aggressive. We didn't get stuck in. We were just too sloppy in times. Made a couple of mistakes in times, and we looked lethargic, and we made it really tough for ourselves though. But we got there in the end, thanks to Raheem Sterling. Obviously, we got a penalty. But obviously, I think what also changed the game was when Kyle Walker got sent off. I think Kyle Walker, mate. I mean, you can't be getting sent off like that. I mean, at least when if I refer back to Wan-Bissaka, when he gets booked for Manchester United, at least he knows he's on a yellow card, and then at least he doesn't go in stupidly and gets sent off. So with Kyle Walker going in, lunging in like that, ridiculous. Doesn't need to do that. So yeah, I think Kyle Walker was a bit stupid of doing that. Got sent off. He's going to miss the game against Denmark now. So that's him over. He's not going to play now till next month. Depends if he gets the call up. And this is the thing with players up and coming now through England, bigging up the youth up. You know, it could be over for Kyle Walker. You're not being disciplined. You can't keep your composure, and that's what you go and do. And you show yourself up, and you get sent off. And I think on the 70th minute as well. So we really struggled from the 70th minute on, because we were down to 10 men. We didn't know what to do. I think Southgate's substitutions, wrong decisions in times. I think people in times were a bit confused what the tactics were. So I think everyone was confused. No one didn't know what was going on. In terms of performance-wise, in the second half, I think we were even worse. So not good. We've got to take away from that and say, you know, 1-0 victory. We have to take it. Let's move on, and we need to improve now. And yeah, it just goes to show. But if we would have lost that, we would have got what we deserved at the end of the day. But we're lucky to walk away from that, to get a 1-0 victory, and then Joe Gomez is stupidly enough gives away a penalty. But lucky enough we got saved because the player missed the penalty. So, I mean, you're not always going to get that at the end of the day. So players need to wake up and smell the coffee now. And let's move on now to the next game against Denmark. In what aspects or in what areas do England need to improve on going forward? I mean, in terms of the rest of this year or going forward, or, you know, for the upcoming game, it shows that we need to really work on fitness-wise. I think, you know, the players are not there fitness-wise. I mean, I think the first 10 minutes we look good, but like I said, like again, you can be doing all this preparation for this one game, but the players are not turning up. So I think the way how we're going to have to improve is really look back on video. What did we do wrong? What did we do right? I mean, did we create chances? No. So you got to say, not enough creativity. We need to work on the creativity a little bit more. Well, a lot more. You've got to work on the transition. We've got to work on a lot more being ruthless. We've got to work on to be more aggressive in our play. The transition needs to be a lot more quicker. We need to be quicker. We need to be sharper. When the movement needs to be quicker. We can't be lazy. You can't be sloppy. Can't be giving away possession. So it's just going back to the basics, really. I think we just got to get back to the basics, and as long as we get back to the basics and then move on from there and progress on, and then Southgate needs to sort of, you know, I think change up the balance a little bit more, and maybe, you know, he needs more out of his players as well. So there's lots to work on. I mean, we've got to work on the transition. We've got to work on being more aggressive, being more ruthless. We're gonna have to be. We need to show that we need to press them back, high intensity, high tempo. So there's still lots to work on in terms of, you know, just putting the pressure on your opponent really, and, you know, go and break down teams, and it's just really getting back to the basics. And I think if we can get back to the basics and start getting back to what we need to work on, like I just said then, and if we can get back to doing that, get back to doing the basics and start putting the pressure onto our opponents and changing the formation to what the players are not used to, get back to the 4-2-3-1 in the next game, and then the players will be and then all the players will know the roles, what they need to do, and yeah, I think that's what we just need to do really. So in terms of what do we need to improve on, and aspects wise, it's just, you know, we need to be more ruthless and more aggressive in our play, high intensity, high tempo. We need to be able to break down teams. It's just going back to the basics really. And I mean, if you can't do your basics, you're not going to win a game of football at the end of the day. So get back to the basics, and then look back what went wrong, what went right, and then you know where to work on then. But it's just, for me, creativity that needs to improve for the next game against Denmark for sure. Why do we play so poorly? At the end of the day, first game back in 10 months, obviously you don't expect a great performance from the players. Obviously we did look rusty in times, rusty, jaded, and tiredness as well can also kick in as well, the reason why we played so poorly as well. So at the end of the day, the reason why I played so poorly was just we lacked in creativity. We're not ruthless enough in our play. We're just not aggressive. Couldn't find the intensity and the tempo in our game. That's why I just couldn't break down Iceland, because the intensity was too slow, the tempo was too slow, and because it was too slow, it allowed Iceland to get back into position. They were organised, so we made it tough for ourselves, and we didn't know what to do. We were a bit clueless in times. Sometimes you've got to look to the manager and say, what were the tactics? What was plan B? So, yeah, I mean, lots could have gone wrong in that game last night, and lots did go wrong. So, Gareth Southgate, 1-0 victory, he'll take it, but we need to build on it, improve on it, and look forward to the next game against Denmark. Now, who is my man of the match? I think there's only one man to give it to, Raheem Sterling. How do we beat Denmark? Now, obviously, Denmark lost to Belgium last night as well, 2-0. Obviously, that will be not the start that Denmark will want. Denmark, I think they're a great team at the end of the day. They've got some great players, the likes of Schmeichel, Eriksson, Poulsen, Larsson, Christensen. They've got some great players in there, and they've got some great quality players in there. They've got some up-and-coming players coming up. So, Denmark, I think it's not going to be another easy game. I think this is a game for England, and I think we'll be expecting loads of changes from Gareth Southgate coming into this one. So I think with Denmark, they'll be low on confidence. We'll have the confidence. So I think what it's all about now is, not much time to prepare now. Rest and recover today, train tomorrow, and then game on Tuesday. So I think it's just all about the players that need to be ready. They've got to turn up. I think, like I said, it's just going back to the basics. I think we just need to be aggressive. We need to be ruthless in our play. We need high intensity, high tempo. We just got to push back. We need to push the fullbacks back, and we're going to put Denmark under pressure. got to be able to break them down. We've got to have to maintain the fluidity and the tempo and the intensity in our play. We can't be lazy, we can't be sloppy in our play. We've got to play it quick, we've got to be bright, we've got to be sharp on the ball. The movement's going to have to be quick. So I'm expecting an improvement against Denmark. We need the creativity in our play. We need to be more robust as well. So it's just going back to the basics, really. I mean, the passing was fantastic against them lot. Obviously, we just need to take control and dominate the game and just make sure, go and break down Denmark, push the fullbacks back, put them under pressure. And it's not all about just putting long balls in all the time, because they'll just read you all the time. So it's all about keeping it simple. And I think we need to see better tactics, better decisions in terms of decision making, and obviously we need to see a little bit more of how these players will react now after that 1-0 victory. Are we going to see an even better performance after that? Obviously, there was lots of with last night's game against Iceland, you could say absolutely anything. You could say we look rusty, we look jaded, we look tired. You could say absolutely anything. But I think as England fans, we'll be expecting a much better performance, and it has to be a better performance. We can't be sleeping. We've got to be awake mentally, physically. We need to be prepared, and we just got to know what's going our way, and we can't make any slip-ups. It's just a matter of fact, these players have got to turn up at the end of the day. We're expecting changes, and I'm looking forward to another good game against Denmark. First time in 6 years against Denmark, so let's see. Against Denmark, we've got a good winning ratio against them. We've lost only 3 times to Denmark over the years, so England have done really well against Denmark over the last couple of years. So I think it's just all about, let's go in this game mentally, prepare well physically as well. So I think, and then just make sure the players turn up to a good game against Denmark, because they'll give us a game, because they'll be low on confidence, they'll want to win, and England have to really keep it tight at the back, be more of a unit at the back, and make sure that we can keep it tight at the back and just don't make any mistakes at the back. And then I think midfield wise, we need to see a better midfield. We can't have Ward-Prowse, Rice and Foden again. We need to see a better midfield as well against Denmark for sure. Anyway, getting into the goal now. Sterling steps up and scores a nice composed penalty for 1-0. Getting into the stats now. Possession for Iceland, it was 22.3%, and for England it was 77.7%. Goals for Iceland, it was 0, and for England it was 1. Total shots for Iceland, it was 2, and for England it was 13. Shots on target for Iceland, it was 0, and for England it was 4. Shot accuracy for Iceland, it was 0.0%, and for England it was 30.8%. Shots inside the box for Iceland, it was 1, and for England it was 10. Shots outside the box for Iceland, it was 1, and for England it was 3. Total passes for Iceland, it was 202 passes, and for England it was 770 passes. Pass accuracy for Iceland, it was 67.0%, and for England it was 88.8%. Getting to the substitutions now. Foden went off at Ings. Talk about Foden's performance. An assured debut passed through the lines with pressure despite some physical marking from the Iceland's midfielders, but couldn't find the decisive pass to open up the Iceland defence before he was withdrawn midway through the second half. Sancho went off for Alexander-Arnold. Talk about Sancho's performance. Typically lively down the right flank, always looking to run his man, and tied up Rice with a tempting cutback. Looked England's most likely to make the breakthrough before being subbed off for Alexander-Arnold. Kane went off for Greenwood. Talk about Kane's performance. Had the ball in the net inside 6 minutes, but was wrongly flagged offside. Drifted out of the game for long periods, and after that looked tired and frustrated as the second half wore on. Next up, we've got Denmark. Denmark are 4th in the table. Like I just said, got to just be mentally prepared, physically as well for this game. We've got to come in with the right mindset, right mentality, prepare well for this game. Denmark will be up for this one. They'll be low in confidence, so they'll want to get the confidence back. But if Gareth picks the right team, puts the players in the right positions, balance the team out right, get the structure in the team right, he needs depth in the team, and he needs to select the right formation for the game. Just get back to the 4-2-3-1, the way how England really play. The last time England won against Denmark was on Wednesday the 5th of March 2014, and it ended 1-0 to England. The last time England lost to Denmark was on Wednesday the 17th of August 2005, and it ended 4-1 to Denmark. The players to look out for is Christensen, Højlund, Eriksson, Delaney, Poulsen, Braithwaite, Larson, Dolberg, Vestergaard, Falk. Hope you guys have enjoyed another video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you're new. See you guys in a video in the next couple of days, and peace.